Welcome to another Numbering the Days channel word study. Today we are going to start a new series on all the words associated with Yah's throne and the foundation of it. Yahusha said in Revelation chapter 3 verse 21, "To him that overcometh will I grant to sit with me in my throne, even as I also overcame and sat down with my Father in his throne." Now that's a pretty big promise. But you got to ask yourself, what throne? And what is it? What is about that throne? Because in many people, in our world right now, in many countries, nations and peoples are struggling with rulers sitting on various types of thrones whose foundations are not built on the same righteous principles that you and I may have. I think it is a good idea we spend the next several weeks through the great 8th day week of this fall Moedim season learning about the throne we hope to be granted the privilege to sit upon, because many people think it's going to be like, I'm going to be president of the nation and tell everybody what to do, or I'm going to be the king of this nation. We have a lot of ideas in our minds about what the throne is and ruling from it. So I think it'd be good to study the throne. Now, before I get to the word study on this video, I want to read a few verses from Psalm 89 that help to inspire this series of videos. This psalm is not written by David, but by the prophet Ethan the Ezrahite, who served David. I will sing of the mercies of Yahuwah forever. With my mouth I will make known thy faithfulness to all generations. For I have said, mercy shall be built up forever. Thy faithfulness shalt thou establish in the very heavens. I have made a covenant with my chosen. I have sworn unto David my servant. Thy seed will I establish forever, and build up thy throne to all generations. Selah. And the heavens shall praise thy wonders, O Yahuwah, thy faithfulness also in the congregation of the Kodashim. For who in the heaven can be compared unto Yahuwah? Who among the sons of the mighty can be likened unto our Adonai? El is greatly to be feared in the assembly of the Kodashim, and to be held in reverence of all them that are about him. O Yahuwah Elohai Sabaoth, who is a strong Yah like unto thee, or to thy faithfulness round about thee? Thou rulest the raging of the sea, when the waves thereof arise, thou stillest them. Thou hast broken Rahab in pieces, as one that is slain. Thou hast scattered thine enemies with thy strong arm. The heavens are thine, the earth also is thine. As for the world and the fullness thereof, thou hast founded them. The north and the south, thou hast created them. Tabor and Hermon shall rejoice in thy name. Thou hast a mighty arm, strong is thy hand, and high is thy right hand. Now here comes the verses. Justice and judgment are the habitation of thy throne. Mercy and truth shall go before thy face. Blessed is the people that know the joyful sound. They shall walk, O Yahuwah, in the light of thy countenance. In thy name shall they rejoice all the day, and in thy righteousness shall they be exalted. For thou art the glory of their strength, and the favor of our horn shall be exalted. I'm going to pause for just a moment, because justice and judgment, the habitation of the throne, we're going to do justice and judgment words, and mercy and truth. And the people that are blessed, that know the sound, the joyful sound, that's the shofar. That's not just any kind of sound. This is the shofar that they know. And they're going to walk in the light of thy countenance. Okay, we just finished doing the Festival of New Oil and all the teachings that I did. And the wise virgins have him within them. And he is the light. We had Moses' countenance light up. There's all kinds of tie-ins here between the throne and the joyful sound. We're in the season of all of this happening. So I just thought it was just apropos that we do the throne word and start there. Down here in verse 20, I have found David my servant. With my holy oil I have anointed him. We just did the Festival of New Oil. In verse 24, we have faithfulness and mercy being mentioned again. And I'm not going to read through the rest of this psalm. That's enough. That's enough for you to know what I was, why I got inspired. Now, you have to ask yourself, whose throne is sounding in your ears? Whose shofar is blowing? And the enemy is blasting his sound right now as loud as he can to distract you and keep you focused outside of yourself. So if you want to walk as he walked, what goes before your face? What kind of righteousness is going before your face? See, that's why we're going to do that word. So if you think about going to sit on his throne and rule with him, what throne and what is it about? What was stored in that mercy seat? Do you realize that the prophet said the ark would not be remembered? Remember, we all are still talking about the Ark of the Covenant and the mercy seat, but it's in the prophets that this would the second Exodus would be so extraordinary that we wouldn't even talk about it anymore. So anyway, be sure to take this word study information and relate it to the offerings video of week 26 and to the video on the kingdom within, because it's all going to tie together. And where this throne is, you will be ruling from, where it might actually be located. So check out our new online shop. We created one with many new offerings from our channel related to all these recent videos. We've got mugs and t-shirts and things you might enjoy this fall season on the throne and its foundation. The link is in the description. So let's get started on our word study on thrones. Okay, here's our word study, week 26. We're going to do the two words that are translated in Scripture as throne. They're almost identical, so it's not a lot of multiple words in Scripture. It's very simple. We're reviewing this word first in our series on the foundation of Yahushua's throne that overcomers get to sit on with him, and that's in Revelation 3:21. Now use this word study with the words love, mercy, righteousness, judgment, and truth. We're going to be doing all those words in the upcoming weeks through the great 8th day. Okay, the first word is a noun. It's kaseh. It's got two Strong's numbers because it looks like it's kiseh or kaseh. Two different pronunciations. H3677 and H3678, and I kind of color coordinated them because they have pretty different meanings. The first one, let's do 78 first, because that's where it gets its main identification. Seat of honor, a royal throne that's covered, a seat, a stool, royal dignity, authority, power, is a figurative meaning, and a covering. And 3678 has been translated as throne 127 times, seat 7 times, and stool 1 time. Okay, and this word also, when they vowel pointed it differently, has only been used twice in Scripture, okay, as appointed. And then they give the meaning for this. They say it comes from another word, and it probably... I love it when they use the word probably, means the fullness of the full moon and its festival, its time appointed. Now that's ignoring the Kodesh Mikra, which, the appointed times in Leviticus don't use this word for their appointed, just so you know. And in the Klein's Etymological Dictionary, they use the Talmud to say that this is the new moon time when it is covered and you can't see its light. So we have all these definitions around the moon, which this is not the word for a moon at all. That's Yarek. And it's only twice. And these two verses, Proverbs 7:20 and Psalms 81:3, are where this kaseh word has been translated as appointed. And when I looked at those two verses, you can translate that verse with the understanding of the throne or the authority, and it doesn't need to imply some appointed time of a festival. Just so you know, I looked at those verses and went, okay, it doesn't have to be the way it's been translated into English. We're not going to go into that because that's not our study right now. Okay, so for kaseh, there are only two ways to break apart these components. I mean, kaf in the front is a prefix, but Samic Aleph is not a word. So the fact that it's got a prefix here really means nothing. And the Kaf Samik in the Kleins and in Strong's means a seat of honor, a throne, a seat, or a stool. So, Kaseh is really getting its meaning from the Kaf Samik here. And the Aleph, remember, sometimes is put on the end of words in the Babylonian words, like in the book of Daniel. When he was writing and they were in Babylon, there was a lot of Alephs on the ends of words. So there's not really any subcomponent meanings because it's the same meaning. And the only thing I can add is that when I looked at the letters themselves, then I could see the following. The place where our Creator's words are provided to you that you need, receive assistance here. A structure created to support the Creator's words, plans that are being provided to you for your needs and support. It's like the place you go to get support, the place you go to hear Him speaking to you, to hear the Word. I could say the structure created to support the Creator's Torah that's being shared with you for your service to other people. So it'd be a place that you go to hear what you're supposed to do to help other people. Okay. And that's what I'm seeing in the letters. Okay. So I just want to point out that there is a valid word, yarek, in Scripture for the moon itself. And there are other words for feasts and appointed times other than kaseh. And only one root word in the lexicon is a throne, because it's just kaf samik. That's it in the lexicon. And yet, for some reason, they want to put in Strong's and H3677, they want to insert, this means the new moon, the appointed times of the new moon, and I really call this into question as valid or not. And I challenge you, go look at these verses for yourself and do some meditation on them. Study all the words out, because it looks fishy to me. That's all I'm going to say. Okay. The other way that you see the word throne in Scripture, it's in here twice, 2 times, it's in 2 verses, and 3 times the word was used. And even though it's not the throne in Revelation 3:21, in the Peshitta it wasn't spelled this way, but this word is interesting, and I thought you would find it. I found it interesting, and I wanted to put it in here. You put a resh right here, so it's kaf resh samik aleph. Not hey, I've been misspeaking. I apologize. It's aleph. Okay, so it's korseh is how they say to now pronounce it. This is Strong's 3764. In Strong's, they say it means a throne. In Klein's dictionary, it's a Babylonian word for an armchair or a chair. Okay, which thrones many times were. So korseh is found twice in 2 verses in Daniel, 5:20 and 5:7-9. Now that's what they tell you in Strong's. Okay, and they say this is the word that you're to look up in Strong's. But when you go to Daniel and you read this verse, the word is actually spelled kaf resh samik aleph. Okay, that's the kaf resh samik aleph. That's good. So this is where it's actually used. And then we go down to Daniel 7:9. And we have a throne that's spelled kaf resh samik vav nun. That's not kaf resh samik vav nun. And then there's another throne down here that's kaf resh samik yod hey. So neither of these 2 spellings in Daniel 7:9 match this word right here, yet that's where they point you in Strong's. Okay, so in Daniel 5:20 it says, "But when his heart was lifted up and his mind hardened in pride, he was deposed from his kingly throne, and they took his glory from him." This is when Nebuchadnezzar lost his throne for 7 years and had to go eat grass, and that whole story. Daniel 7:9 is about the Ancient of Days, and it does not use this word up here. It's using 2 different spellings. Now remember, kaf resh samik is a root for this. Okay, for this word right here, korseh. I beheld till thrones were cast down, the Kaf Resh Samach Vav Nun, and the Ancient of Days did sit, whose garment was white as snow, and the hair of his head was like pure wool. His throne was like the fiery flame, and his wheels as burning fire. So the thrones that are cast down are not the same spelling as the throne the Ancient of Days sits on. Okay? See that? And this kingly throne in Daniel 5:20 that Nebuchadnezzar was taken off of is not spelled Vav Nun either. It's got the Aleph on the end. So let's just look and see what we see in this word up here. We see the like as prefix, and Kaf Resh is actually a word now. It's in Klein's. It's got a few Strong's numbers, but they mean, oh my gosh, male lamb. Lamb fetid, well fed, battering ram, saddle, pasture, ram, furniture, pasture of lambs, a round vessel to measure with dry or liquid. Okay, so that's all the meanings for Kaf Resh. And then we have Kaf Resh Samach, which is in Klein's, but it's not in Strong's. And in Klein's it says it's a belly, your intestines. And it's a derived word, meaning they're pulling this meaning out of something that's not spelled like this. So I was like, boy, this is kind of interesting. They really don't want to explain this Corset word. So when I looked at I got nothing from the components. And when I looked at the letters, I thought, the place where our Creator's words are provided to you that you need, I mean, that meaning is still in there. We have the structure created to support the Creator's words and plans being provided to you for your service and needs and support. I mean, it's the same, there's some of the same meaning in there. Okay, this is from above. So the difference now is that we have the Resh added. And the Resh is like an elder, a prophet, an authority figure sitting on the throne and having the authority of it. Now, this is not always someone who's dispensing Yah's Torah, being his open hand of assistance, nor dispensing his justice either. Now, this Corset could be King David sitting on the throne, obviously, but it could also be an evil king. And in the context of the two verses, definitely it's referring to a king's throne. I mean, we've got the sense up here in the verses that now we're really talking about a king's throne, okay? That somebody's been sitting upon or is getting cast down, and the Ancient of Days is sitting on something, but it's like a fiery flame and wheels of burning fire. So it's not like your normal throne you'd see over there in England in a palace or anything, okay? Or in Europe. It's not one of those kind of thrones. And the one last thing that I want to point out to you, because it's something I know we'll be discussing at Sabbath, is the fact that his throne, Ancient of Days sat down on a throne, that here's a throne, and then it's the word Yah. See, that's Yod-Hey. That's a short form. That's used in Scripture for the Most High. Yod-Hey, Vav-Hey. This is the short form of that word. So, whose throne is the Ancient of Days sitting upon? Just thought I'd point that out. But if they Val point you over here and then don't translate this, you wouldn't know what throne is being sat down upon. Okay, I just want to point that out. Now let's go, we're almost done, to the things to ponder. So the thing I want you to focus on now is the understanding of what actions are supposed to be associated with a throne. The person having the authority of it. You know, it's the place where the Creator's words are provided to somebody that are needed to receive assistance there. It's a structure for these words to be provided for people's support. It's a place where the Torah can be shared for the service of others. And I think Yahudyath has shed a lot of light on this for me. Keep in mind, as next week we're going to be discussing the foundations of this throne, because this is the one you're supposed to be ruling. If you overcome, you get to sit on this throne right here, this spelling right here in Revelation 3:21. You'll get to sit on it with Yahusha. I also think make sure that you watch this week's video on the kingdom of heaven is within, and the focus on where this throne is. Where's the kingdom? And where's this throne located? Be sure you watch the other videos that come out this week, okay? I hope you enjoyed this short word study. Shalom, and have a wonderful day.
He is the mighty